And then gender happened. Because I was in my mid-20s at this point, and I had been waiting to feel like a woman. I was okay with the label of girl when I was young, because girl is a placeholder. Like, nobody thinks they're going to be a girl when they're an adult. You know, no one thinks you're going to be 27 and still a girl. But I was kind of in this place where I was kind of still more comfortable using this placeholder identity that wasn't really anything. I'm 27 and I'm like, yeah, I'm a girl. I'm kind of like, I don't think so, man. Voted for president twice at this point. I think you're an adult. And at this time also, I was meeting trans people and getting to know trans people and having relationships of all different kinds with all different kinds of people who all had different, varied, and unique gender experiences. And I'm starting to realize that the whole thing isn't, you don't have to, it's all made up, right? Like, you can kind of customize gender as you go, and everybody's experience with it is going to be different. And all I could say for certain was that my gendered experience was not one of womanhood. That was all I knew. And this understanding was really exciting to me, because really it explained a lot. And that was really helpful, and I feel like it cleared up a lot of issues that I was having in my professional life, my personal life, and I felt really excited about it. So I did what everybody does when they have a personal revelation, and I posted about it on Facebook. And I made this status, which I felt really good about at the time. And it was like, it was basically, I'm not a woman. If you've been viewing me as a woman, thank you, but no thank you. These they, them pronouns. And that was basically the status. And I felt really good about it because I thought that it was very clear. I didn't say I am a thing, I said I'm not this other thing. So I was like, okay, yeah, there's no possible way this could get misinterpreted, except that it did. And I didn't even realize it for a while, but this is also during the part of my life where I'm doing kind of the like, the independent artist thing, and I'm going to networking events, and I'm meeting people, and doing the like shaking your hand, and branding yourself, and marketing, and of it all. You know, the fun parts of being an artist. And on one of these events, I'm having a conversation with this person, you know, going back and forth about like the theater scene and what's important to do and what work is good work and oh, let's work together and all of this stuff. And she's like, I'm really glad you're here. It's really great to see more trans men represented in theater. And I mean, it is, but I'm not. And I'm kind of in this moment where I'm like, what you're saying is really nice and true, but it actually has nothing to do with me. But as I'm walking away from this conversation, and I'm kind of thinking more, I'm like, yeah, but it feels easy. Like, if it's easier for people to say I'm a man in order for them to understand that I'm not a woman, am I just splitting hairs? Am I just really trying to be overly specific to try to make them think that there are more than two options? Like, how much does it really matter? Does my artistic brand need to be completely, totally authentic to who I am as a person? I don't think so. It doesn't really matter. You know, the people in my personal life, the people I'm close to, the people I want to spend my time with, they'll understand that there's more to me than whatever label I put on my resume at any time. But I don't really, you know, everybody to know that, right? That's not gonna cause any problems. And also, I'm like having to defend it sometimes. Like, I had this conversation with this person that we had gotten close because she and I got out of toxic relationships with cis men at the same time. And it was really great. We were both in the Baltimore theater scene and kind of had this connection. in this way, and we were there for each other and talked each other through it. We were really helpful. It was really great. And this was before I came out, or whatever it is that I did. And so afterwards, she comes up to me outside the show, and we're talking, and I can tell there's something like bothering her, but I can't really super tell what it is. She comes up to me and she's like, I just don't understand why you want to be like that. And I know what she means, because she's coming from a place of trauma and hurt, and she feels like this person that she thought she had a shared experience with is saying, my experience is not closer to you, my experience is actually closer to the person that harmed you, which isn't true. The way that toxic masculinity and masculinity as a whole affects cis men versus trans men is always going to be different, and nobody's culpable for all of the things that are done by someone of the same gender identity as them, and I'm having to explain all of this and be like a mouthpiece for a community that I'm not really sure my place in. And I'm just having this moment where I'm very disassociated from myself. Like, I'm over here and this mask is doing all of the work, and Mimi is just kind of out in the background, like, I don't really have, okay, this isn't what I thought I was doing, whatever, we'll get through it. And then I get here. Up until I came into this program, I was still doing this kind of calling myself trans-mask because it felt easy shtick. And I get here and I start doing this training that asks you to look at yourself as an artist and understand what you want, and asks you to think about your body in different ways and how to use your body and how to be in touch with your body. And it's all kind of making me think that I can't separate myself from who I am as an artist. Like, they can't really be on different pages. It all has to be a bit together. And that what I can do and what I can bring to the table as an artist and what I can do on stage and the person that I can be doesn't have to be defined by anything about me. And we're embodying things, and we're embodying colors, we're embodying sounds, we're embodying music, we're embodying nature, we're embodying animals. And none of that has anything to do with gender. Like, I can play a woman, or I can play a man, I can play a tree, I can play glue, I can play a trumpet. I do all kinds of things. And no one really needs to know what my business is internally. And so I get halfway through my first year of this program, and it just kind of stopped identifying. It's just kind of what if I just didn't? Because it's also totally likely to change again. Because that's the thing about being a person, is it's always going to change. Tomorrow I can wake up and feel completely differently about everything I'm saying right now, which would suck because I have to say it all again on Monday. But years from now, I can actually be like, no, now I do feel like a woman. Or years after that, I can be like, actually now, yes, I am a man. Or I just keep going like this for the rest of my life, and that's cool too. It isn't fixed. And this understanding is really great, but it also involves a big amount of patience. Because even though I'm having this understanding, and so many people I know are having this understanding, we still live in a world that wants to divide things, and we still have to exist in spaces that would be more comfortable if we were a single thing, if they could point at us and say, yes, that's who you are, it's easily understood. And that's the hardest part, is staying yourself through a world that's uncomfortable with that idea. But I think the way I feel about it now is it's just a matter of figuring it out together. You know? Like, I'm never going to understand everybody through the lens that they understand themselves. And nobody's ever going to understand me through the lens that I understand myself. It's impossible. I'm the only person who's seen every single part of my life. Everyone else in my life has only seen bits of it. And some people more bits than other people, but still, the whole thing, no one can ever know that. And I can't ever know everybody else's whole thing, no matter how close you get to someone. And I think a year ago, I found this idea really lonely. I find it less lonely now because I'm not the only person dealing with that. We're all in the same different boat, so to speak. And we're all just figuring out how to navigate the world. And if we can figure out how to navigate the world together, it might get a bit easier to navigate. It might, I don't know. This is all a theory.